Hello, you might remember my previous video about my ceiling renovation here in the kitchen. The kitchen's now complete. New ceiling sheets and cornices, like the original ones were horsehair, which meant they were heavier. And on this corner here is where the ceiling just started to just drop on its own, under its own weight. So that inspired a whole new renovation. Do you notice something here? The top cabinets are white, the bottom ones are light grey. This light grey was from a previous renovation. This, just a couple of days ago. So I know why you're wondering why they're not matching colours, because the original cupboards were mounted to the actual ceiling. Right, there's like a special plate that goes around like that. So they were mounted to that on both sides, and then with the new ceiling we had to add new rails to the original rafters, which means they are glued and screwed up. So these are the new Gyproc sheets, along with new cornices. And yes, I got new ceilings, cornices, and a new fridge before GTA 6, but I'm not complaining. I know you wanted to hear that, so I put that in there. These were from IKEA at Inaloo. And if you're wondering, yes, that's a water dispenser in my fridge. The water goes in there. But yeah. The original horsehair sheets were up for so long. But these new ones, they're like this thin, so it's lighter. So in terms of the kitchen renovation, I know you want to know, well, I had all bench tops that were the original orange from the 70s, even the carpet, which obviously there's Mystic Glacier, but that was all orange shag pile carpet, and the benches only came from the wall prior to the backsplash to about here. So it wasn't very far, and this is actually coming out from the bench at 300. So it kind of closes off the width of the kitchen, but it's well worth it when you actually need bench space. This breakfast bar, needed that. Gets used quite often. And I had like cork on the floor here, and then from the kitchen I separated from that to the dining. I had like squares like that, it was like the Mission Brown carpet squares, had to go. So this goes from here, that way and all the way down the hallway, which is pretty long. But yeah, as you can tell, like this is obviously the main dining area, and over here, believe it or not, is a space for a second dining room, which I'm currently in the middle of building a dining table to go in there. So, and originally when I first moved in, the dining table wasn't there. Yeah, this backsplash came with the original kitchen renovation, and I chose white to kind of add some brightness. I like brightness in my house. Yeah, Dad finished installing this extractor from the fan, so that's like all up in here. So everything up at this level with the new cupboards are brand new. Yeah, I'll turn it on for you. Check this out. You just press this button. Yep. Lights come on. And obviously you turn the knob, you get all 3 speeds, but I'm not going to bother doing that. But yeah. So the kitchen reno goes back a few years, and the ceiling took about a week. So, and that is not the original cupboard door either. I'll show you what's in there, might as well. I know you want to look. It's not much, pretty healthy. Yes, I'm a coffee and tea guy. Yes, noodle packs for pad thai, and that's for like carbonaras or like a spaghetti bolognese. I don't do subtle up in here. And so all this has like the original, there's like a, I guess you'd call like a wallpaper or something. I just painted over that. And all these other shelves. And the first time since the 70s, there's a light. So when I turn on the main kitchen lights, that comes on. My father put that in. Yeah, I painted that because it was like all brown, so I just did the wrapping on the front there, just painted the rest. But yeah, this is the new door. I said to my father, look, I want the handles to match. And if you check out the gaps between the doors to there, it's the same on all the others. However, you won't be able to tell unless you've got a good keen eye. So those other ones are like 3-finger width. I said, Dad, it's got to be like almost uniform. So he did that. So these are just 2-finger width. Like, got all my chef stuff there, big ass cutting board. My girlfriend's slushy machine. But yeah. This kitchen ceiling took a week and I'm so glad it got done. And I actually feel safer in here because, like I said before, the Gyproc sheets are lighter. So less chance of them just falling on their own. That's a big chest freezer over there, just ignore that thing. So yeah. Thank you for watching. At least you now know, if you've been watching the previous video, that this is now complete. Thank you.